pé ọkùnrin kò ní fi ṣe èmi ni mo jẹ́ kó ṣe má ṣọpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ mi torí fi láórí olúkòókò tẹ́lẹ̀ kó bá lóun wá ṣe pàtàkì.
Inside Life is one of those Nigerian Nollywood movies that would make you say that I do not like to watch Nigerian Nollywood films. Hey there, Veroni here. My name is V to the A to the R to the O to the N to the I, and you're welcome back to GeminiBreed TV. And as you guys know, before I get into the review proper, I like to give you details about the story. But for Clarence Peter's Inside Life, the story is completely disjointed and very hard to understand. A story is supposed to have a protagonist whose journey the audience follow. Their success, their triumphs, their downfalls, their failures, their struggles, and their end. The series introduced us to Ade, a potential protagonist who lived in Lagos, in rural Lagos, and is trying to save his sick and dying grandmother. Got linked up with a friend, got in trouble, and landed himself in prison. Now, you would expect a follow-up of his life, his prison life in episode 2, but then another protagonist was then introduced. Okay, so I felt like it's one of those movies whereby they introduced the characters and then they find a way to join them at the end. In episode 2, they talk about Etoha and how her mother allowed her father to essay her, and then because he was about to essay her sister to somebody somewhere somehow died. He's taken to prison. So I'm like, oh, okay, they want to link this story the prison way. We've not seen stories about prison life and all of that thing in Lagos or Nigeria, especially. Now in episode 3, they move on to another character, Gifty. And here I am sitting and wondering, did the director read the script? Did the writer think through before putting all of these things together? Are they supposed to be individual stories, or they are supposed to link? As at the point where I realized that okay, these stories are supposed to be linked is when in episode 3 there was a flashback of 9 months earlier, and then Gifty was about to enter a bus, and then we're seeing Ade as the bus conductor. So I'm like, oh, Ade is popping up again. Okay, they are bringing something in. And then that was the last I saw of him. And that was also the last I saw of Gifty. In episode 4, I'm seeing them talk about Itoha's sister, Mimi, that happened in episode 2. Okay, they are trying to still link the story. Some way, somehow, sense is going to come out of it. But it didn't. Tell me why a movie does not have a consistent protagonist. Now, it's understandable that maybe you want to create a lot of protagonists, but there should be something that is linking them, a common goal, a common struggle. They have bad lucks, okay? That is, the common thing that is linking them, but make it progressive. Let's see them, their stories intertwined. At the end of the day, when you start with a protagonist and abandon it, because that is what it is, you abandoned it, you're stressing the mental health of the viewers. Inside Life is one of those Nigerian Nollywood movies that would make you say that I do not like to watch Nigerian movies. Clarence Peters started his directing career on Everyday People set on AIT. And we all know him to be exceptional for his creative direction for his musical videos. Tell me why his first film, after a long break, is having me like this. His creative ability as a cinematographer was put to good use in this movie. The film had a gritty tone, so the lighting, the set design, shot composition, and props were good. I'll give that an A. I could say this is the only thing that will keep you going till the last episode. The use of language was good too. The Igbo, Yoruba, and Isan dialects made the movie interesting to watch. And the way the proverbs were woven into the script, you can say it was truly compelling. If the story was more grounded, then maybe it would have been a very good watch. When the character Chiamaka was introduced and the use of flashback was employed to talk about her younger self when she was living with her parents and her present self, there was no contrast. Usually in movies, they use color and set design to contrast. The only thing that would make you know that they're it's a flashback, is the age difference between her younger self and her older self. If her older self is 23 and her younger self was like 16, 15 thereabouts, you would the set design did not change, the color did not change, and it makes you wonder if it was a different person or the same person, but you would know that they were doing a flashback. The series starts off with the story of Ade, a rural Lagos boy trying to care for his aging and dying mother, and his life struggles, and how he got into prison. And then it moved on to episode 2 with Ituha and how she got into prison too, only for the subsequent episodes to be about essaying women. There was a lot of essay scenes that were not necessary, and it was triggering. Then, from essay scenes to it becoming fetish, there was no progression to it at all. The story became disjointed because it was talking about prison, and then it started talking about essays, and then now it's talking about oracles, fetish, rituals. Then you're wondering if you're still seeing the same series because these plots are not linked and the story has deviated. The score, foley, and sound mix was top notch. I guess it was one of the things that Netflix considered before agreeing to place it on their platform. Overall sound was great. Visual effects, makeup, and costumes were good too. One thing I really like about Inside Life series is the color grade. It has this gritty aura that just makes you stay glued to your screen, despite the bad screenplay. For the disjointed storyline, I am honestly hoping that Clarence Peters is hoping to arrive at something, because the last episode in this limited series cannot be the end. I mean, none of the established plots was resolved. There definitely should be more. So I'll be waiting on the subsequent episodes that would be released later on before I give my full verdict on the series Inside Life. If you haven't seen Inside Life, it is still showing on Netflix. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the notification bell to receive notification whenever I drop a new review. Mwah! Bye guys!
You've been on a mission to take my pride away from